Have you ever wondered which engines might ruin your driving dreams? Well, we have got a list of 20 worst car engines that should never have been produced in the first place. From beloved brands to cars that just seem too crazy to be true, you'll soon realize why these engines belong firmly in the never again category. So do you think your favorite car might be on this list? And how will this information change your next purchase? Stick around, you won't want to miss this. Subaru 2.5-liter turbo. This engine powers models like the WRX and Forester, making a name for itself in Subaru's performance lineup. It promises a mix of power and efficiency, but not without some bumps along the road. A notorious issue is the head gasket failure, a real nightmare that's haunted these engines from the start. The original head gasket design was prone to coolant leaks into the cylinders, leading to overheating and sometimes complete engine failure. But that is not all. Owners have flagged problems due to faulty piston rings or cylinder blocks. Left unchecked, these could spiral into serious costly repairs. For drivers, this isn't just a hassle, it's a financial drain, with head gasket fixes running around $1,500. Plus, there's been legal fallout as some owners feel let down by Subaru's handling of these recurring issues. And despite attempts to improve with upgraded gaskets and tackling oil consumption in newer models, the legacy of this engine continues to fuel debates in the automotive world. BMW N63 4.4-liter biturbo V8. Launched in 2008, this engine was crafted to excite drivers in luxury models like the 550i, 650i, and X5 with its impressive capabilities. Yet it quickly gained notoriety for reliability issues, leaving many drivers disappointed. Right from the start, this engine might down a quart or a liter of oil every 1,000 miles, with some owners refilling every 600 miles. This stems from the turbo placements in the V section, where extreme heat burns off oil, leading to gasket troubles. And it also had fuel injector failures with rough idling, sluggish pickup, and black smoke from the exhaust. And replacing these, it can cost you $350 to $850 each. You need to keep an eye out for timing chain failures too, especially in models from 2008 to 2014. Over time, chains may stretch or skip a tooth, which can lead to bent valves or complete engine failure. Repairing this can exceed $1,800, not exactly spare change. Then there are the leaking valve stem seals, responsible for oil loss and that telltale white exhaust smoke. Positioned near high heat zones, they often fail sooner than expected, with many owners overwhelmed by repair bills often hitting thousands. What would you do when faced with this engine's reputation? Mazda 1.3-liter rotary. Mazda's engineering marvel with its one-of-a-kind Wankel rotary design. This engine was the heart of famed models like the RX-7 and RX-8, delivering lightweight high-rev thrills for driving enthusiasts. However, every rose has its thorn. The 13B deals with apex seal problems. These seals are crucial for rotor compression, but they can wear out or break over time. When that happens, expect noticeable power loss and higher oil use. Speaking of oil, the 13B is an oil burner by nature to keep things smooth. Some owners might be surprised by how often they need to check oil levels to avoid catastrophic engine failure. Skipping this could lead to serious damage due to poor lubrication of those essential apex seals. Overheating is another irritant, especially in the RX-8 models. Poor cooling systems can speed up the wear and tear on those infamous seals, making matters worse. Financially, it can pack a punch too. Repairing failed apex seals costs between $3,000 and $4,600. Due to this expense, many fans prefer swapping out the entire engine, fueling a lively secondhand market for rotary engines. What would you choose? Repair or replace? Toyota 3-liter V6. This engine found its way into fan-favorite models like the Toyota Tacoma and 4Runner. At first glance, it seemed designed to balance performance and reliability, but it soon gained a reputation for all the wrong reasons. One major issue? Head gasket failures. Imagine discovering head gasket problems just a few months after buying your vehicle. Hard to swallow, right? Some owners reported failures as early as 3 months post-purchase. The design of this crossover pipe doesn't help either. In hotter climates, it can overheat the rear cylinder heads. But the problems don't end there. This engine also tends to develop oil leaks, particularly from the valve cover gaskets and front main seals. These leaks can raise maintenance costs and tarnish the engine's longevity. So, what's the fallout? Many drivers face a financial nightmare with costly repairs, and some even resort to complete engine engine replacements due to those nagging head gasket issues. Legal action has also emerged, with claims that the manufacturer ignored known defects. If you're considering a used Toyota with this engine, be cautious. Look for alternatives or make sure any necessary repairs have been made. But would you take the risk? Cadillac V8 6.4. This 368 cubic inches or 6.0 liter behemoth had an idea that was pretty ambitious. Combine the raw performance of a V8 with the efficiency of smaller engines. By allowing the engine to run on fewer cylinders during lighter loads, Cadillac aimed to offer a luxury driving experience without sacrificing fuel savings. But things didn't go as planned. The electronic control system tasked with managing the cylinders couldn't keep up with real-life driving conditions. Drivers felt jolts as the engine awkwardly shifted between 4, 6, and 8 cylinders. Plus, the fuel injection technology of that era fell short, leading to inconsistent performance and failing to improve fuel economy as expected. Cadillac tried to calm concerns by reaffirming their quality commitment and even introduced an engine value protection plan. Still, many drivers opted to disable the new tech, preferring the stable performance of a conventional V8. This move was a significant blow to Cadillac's reputation during a pivotal period. In the end, the Cadillac V864 was discontinued after just 1 year due to these challenges and unfavorable reviews. It is an interesting take on power and efficiency, to be honest. But was it simply a case of too much ambition or just plain misfortune? GM 2.4 liter Quad 4. Produced by Oldsmobile, this engine represented a leap in 4-cylinder technology, crafted specifically for compact and mid-size cars. Known for balancing performance and fuel efficiency, it found a home in popular models like the Oldsmobile Achieva and Pontiac Grand Am. But despite its promising design, the Quad Fout quickly made a name for itself. One of the biggest issues was head gasket failures, which left many drivers frustrated. The timing chain was another weak spot. It wore down easily, and if not caught in time, could lead to catastrophic failures. Adding to the headache, many owners reported excessive oil consumption, requiring constant top-ups and raising serious questions about long-term reliability. The fallout from these problems was tough. Drivers faced skyrocketing repair bills, sometimes even exceeding the vehicle's value. This led to a wave of complaints and even lawsuits against GM, seriously damaging their reputation in the compact vehicle market. But we can't talk about troublesome engines and skip these next ones. Audi 2T Turbo. At first glance, it was celebrated for its spunky performance and impressive fuel economy, but soon enough, the engine started making noise for less glamorous reasons. Fuel injector woes are at the top of the list. These direct injection systems often experience leaks or clogs, leading to cylinder misfires, sluggish acceleration, and even fuel spills. Hardly ideal when you want a smooth ride. Next up, the water pump. Its plastic casing doesn't stand up well to heat and pressure. This leads to coolant leaks and overheating, problems that can severely hamper performance. Then come the ignition coil issues. When these fail, you might face misfires, rough idling, and noticeable power loss, leaving your car feeling less powerful than it should. Let's not forget the bothersome positive crankcase ventilation valve. A malfunctioning valve means more misfire fault codes, rough idling, and odd intake noises. Finally, the timing chain tensioner presents its own set of nightmares. A lower tensioner failure can lead to catastrophic damage if not quickly dealt with. These persistent problems haven't just meant high repair costs from fixing injectors to water pumps. They've even led to legal actions and recalls. Sadly, all these issues have put a dent in the engine's reputation among car lovers and everyday drivers. Isuzu 3-liter V6 D-Max. You'll spot this engine in the Isuzu D-Max and MUX models, built to handle everything from daily work to weekend getaways. But despite being designed for solid performance, it's facing some negative buzz among drivers due to a few key issues. First off, the exhaust gas recirculation system, meant to lower emissions by rerouting exhaust back into the engine, often ends up jammed with soot and oil. When this happens, you might notice rough idling, a power drop, and poor fuel efficiency. Some drivers have had to clean or even replace this valve multiple times, with reports of up to 7 cleanings in a single year. Next, the diesel particulate filter is supposed to catch exhaust soot. However, if the engine doesn't get hot enough, this thing clogs up, leading to repeated regeneration cycles that don't always solve the problem and can eventually cause engine issues. And let's not forget the reports of cracks in the engine bay from metal fatigue, especially around the suspension towers and chassis, where heavy accessories like bull bars are mounted. This can lead to serious handling problems and safety concerns. Chrysler 2-liter LC. The compact inline-4 found in models like the Chrysler 200 and Dodge Dart has been criticized for a lot of things with its excessive oil consumption, a hassle that could spell trouble for your engine down the line. Overheating is another major headache faced by countless drivers. Low coolant or a failing radiator needs swift action to avoid serious engine issues. Let's face it, nobody wants that kind of stress. Then, there are those annoying check engine lights, often the result of sensor malfunctions, like oxygen or mass airflow sensors. These lights usually mean frequent and expensive trips to the mechanic. And don't get me started on catalytic converter problems. This engine is infamous for causing converters to fail prematurely, affecting emissions and even sparking recalls. It's a lose-lose for the environment and your wallet. Repairs, painfully pricey, with catalytic converter fixes often exceeding $1,300. Tackling overheating issues usually adds up with costly labor and parts replacement. All these troubles have cast a long shadow over Chrysler's reputation, attracting legal scrutiny and leading to class action lawsuits from frustrated customers. Mitsubishi 3-liter V6. This thing has powered the Mitsubishi Montero, Dodge Caravan, and Plymouth Voyager. This engine was crafted with reliability and performance in mind, but folks have reported noticeable oil burning. Then there's the timing belt situation. This engine falls into the interference category, meaning if the timing belt gives up, your valves might not fare so well. They can bend and cause severe damage. To avoid this nightmare, you need to stay on top of timing belt replacements. Don't forget about the hydraulic lash adjusters either. They have a reputation for being a bit unreliable. It's one more thing to add to your maintenance list. And speaking of maintenance, let's chat about spark plugs. Changing them can be a real puzzle since you often have to remove the intake manifold to gain access. This can be a hassle and a bit time consuming, so it's not the easiest task. These challenges can really weigh on owners. Many have shared stories about high repair costs, especially when they need to fix oil leaks or replace those pesky timing belts or valve seals. And even with attempts to address these concerns in newer models, many people still don't want the trouble that comes with this thing. Peugeot 1.6 HDI Diesel. This is a turbocharged inline-4 powerhouse that hit the scene in the early 2000s. This engine has been a go-to for models like the Peugeot 207, 308, and Citroën C4, all the while trying to strike that perfect balance between performance and fuel efficiency. It's no wonder this engine became a favorite in the compact car world, but like many things that shine bright, this engine has had its fair share of trouble. One of the biggest red flags is turbocharger failure. This often boils down to two main culprits: faulty injector copper seals and the use of the wrong kind of oil. Over time, those injector seals can wear down, letting unburnt fuel sneak into the oil system. This can spell disaster by contaminating the oil and starving the turbo, leading to a complete turbo failure. But injector leaks are another issue many drivers encounter. Again, this can lead to oil contamination, which complicates the turbo situation even further. It's a frustrating cycle that many have experienced. So with these recurring issues, some mechanics even caution against buying vehicles equipped with this engine unless you can verify thorough maintenance records. Ford 1.6-liter EcoBoost. Since its debut in 2010, this turbocharged inline-4 engine, found in popular models like the Ford Focus and Escape, has been a point of discussion. One of the major issues is coolant intrusion. That means coolant can leak into the combustion chambers, especially in cylinders 2 and 3. This happens because of poor mating surfaces between the engine block, cylinder head, and head gasket. If you don't catch this problem quickly, it can lead to catastrophic engine damage. Then there's overheating, a direct consequence of that pesky coolant intrusion. From model years 2013 to 2015, many owners found their vehicles running hot due to low coolant levels from leaks. Ford did issue a recall for these models, but the underlying design flaws stuck around, often resulting in cracked cylinder heads and eye-watering repair bills. Owners have reported repair costs soaring above $8,000 for engine replacements because of these failures. The frustration didn't stop there. Many have taken legal action against Ford, showing just how widespread these issues are across various models with this EcoBoost engine. As you can imagine, the constant problems have severely damaged the reputation of the EcoBoost line. Some folks are even avoiding Ford vehicles altogether. Many owners feel like Ford's attempts to fix these issues fell short, especially after their warranties expired. Pontiac 2.5-liter Iron Duke. This is a key piece of General Motors lineup from the late 70s to early 90s. Known for its 4-cylinder simplicity and durability, this engine became a favorite in compact and mid-sized cars like the Pontiac Fiero and Chevrolet S10, but not everything was smooth sailing. Overheating was a big problem, mainly due to a cooling system that struggled to keep up, leading to warped cylinder heads and blown gaskets. That means hefty repair bills. Plus, oil leaks were all too common as seals aged, complicating maintenance even more. These problems left many drivers facing unexpected repair costs, causing some to opt for complete engine replacements. The Iron Duke's reputation took a severe hit, so much so that some owners even sought legal recourse against GM. Although GM made updates, this engine remains one of the less celebrated power plants of its time, eventually replaced by more efficient designs. Chevrolet 305 V8. This small block engine aimed to strike a balance between performance and fuel economy, especially during the gas crisis. With a displacement of 305 cubic inches or 5 liter, it shared parts with its bigger brother, the 305, featuring the same stroke of 3.48 inches and a bore of 3.736 inches. You could find the 305 in popular models like the Camaro, Firebird, and various Chevy and GMC trucks until its production ended. However, the 305 didn't quite live up to the hype. It faced heavy backlash for several issues, particularly camshaft failures in early models like the LG3 and LG4. These problems often stemmed from quality control problems, leading to less dependable performance. Then there's the power struggle. With horsepower ranging from 160 to 230, many enthusiasts felt it paled in comparison to the more robust 350 engine. This perception of being a lesser option lingered, making Chevy fans a bit grumpy. Fuel system headaches were common too. Owners dealt with sluggish acceleration and excessive fuel usage, usually thanks to clogged injectors or faulty sensors. And with rising repair costs of the time, drivers often found themselves investing in frequent fixes, from simple tune-ups to major camshaft replacements. Fiat 1.9 JTD Diesel. This thing can be found in beloved models like the Punto and Stilo, once promised a fantastic mix of performance and fuel efficiency. However, it quickly gained a reputation for serious issues that left many drivers frustrated. Drivers frequently reported clogged injectors leading to major fuel consumption and power loss. Definitely not what you want. This often worsened when low-quality diesel was used, creating nasty deposits that made things even worse. The turbocharger wasn't off the hook either. Oil starvation and wear resulted in a significant loss of power and higher emissions. Head gasket failures were common too, causing coolant leaks that led to overheating, especially for vehicles pushed to their limits. If you saw white smoke puffing from the exhaust, you knew something was up with coolant sneaking into the combustion chamber. Fiat owners faced eye-watering repair bills for replacing injectors or turbochargers, sometimes even more than the car's value, tanking resale values and customer satisfaction. Some frustrated owners even took legal action over warranty issues, feeling that Fiat didn't step up to the plate. Because of this, potential buyers and enthusiasts alike often look at this engine with a raised eyebrow, filled with skepticism about its capabilities. Saturn 1.9-liter LC. This was an engine that powered models like the Saturn S series, and it also had issues. Its excessive oil consumption and head gasket troubles had owners frustrated. Worn piston rings and valve seals allowed oil to leak into the combustion chamber, sending up that notorious blue exhaust smoke. Definitely not a welcome sight. See, the engine's design often caused overheating, leading to frequent head gasket failures. This resulted in coolant leaks and could seriously harm the engine if ignored. Many criticized the engine's cooling system as inadequate, worsening the overheating and gasket issues. These problems hit owners hard. Repair costs soared, with head gasket repairs often costing between $1,000 and $2,000. Plus, the constant need for fixes and oil refills left many owners disheartened, hurting Saturn's reputation. Its initial promise was ultimately outshined by ongoing mechanical challenges. Triumph Stag V8. This thing hit the market in 1970 as a stylish grand tourer meant to compete with luxury vehicles like the Mercedes SL. At first glance, it seemed like a winner, offering a 3.0-liter V8 engine that delivered a respectable 145 horsepower. But beneath that sleek exterior, the Stag quickly gained a notorious reputation for a host of mechanical issues, mainly due to its untested engine design. The Triumph Stag had the looks, but boy did its cooling system cause headaches. The water pump was positioned way too high, leading to coolant issues and overheating. Plus, with aluminum cylinder heads prone to warping due to uneven heating, thanks to a poorly designed bolt setup and weak cooling flow, breakdowns were inevitable. And don't forget the design flaw in the main and big end journal diameters, which were too tiny for a performance engine. This resulted in excessive wear and failures under stress, a real nail biter for Stag drivers. These issues had big consequences. Frequent breakdowns and high repair costs led some owners to swap the original engine for more reliable ones like the Rover V8. As a result, the Stag's reputation plummeted, landing it on plenty of worst cars lists and compounding Triumph's struggles in the auto world. Hyundai 2-liter, found in the Hyundai Sonata, Santa Fe, and Kia Optima, this engine was supposed to offer a sweet performance and fuel efficiency, but ended up with a reputation for reliability woes and catastrophic engine failures tied to oil flow problems. See, metallic debris left over from manufacturing can block oil flow to the connecting rod bearings. When this happens, the bearings wear out faster and can seize, leading to an engine meltdown. Definitely a nightmare scenario. Then there's the notorious excessive oil consumption. Imagine needing more than a liter of oil every 1,000 miles. As the engine gets older, this problem often worsens, often linked to the early failures mentioned earlier. These headaches have been costly for drivers. Hyundai recalled about 1.4 million vehicles due to these issues, a massive task. Repair bills soared, with engine replacements costing up to $11,000. Frustrated customers have even taken legal action, casting a shadow over Hyundai and Kia's reputations. Considering a car with this engine, particularly those from 2011 to 2014, a little extra research might be a smart move. Renault 2 DCI. This thing had a problem, especially the M9R variant. Found in models like the Renault Laguna and Traffic, it's praised for its efficiency and performance. However, despite its promising design, it's gained notoriety for some nagging issues. First up is the diesel particulate filter. Many owners report clogging, which hampers performance and increases emissions. If you're frequently in stop-and-go traffic, this might sound familiar, as short trips can prevent the car from regenerating properly. Next is the turbocharger, prone to failure from overheating due to improper shutdowns. This overheating causes oil to carbonize, risking turbo bearing seizure, so you need to keep an ear out for odd whistling noises or a sudden drop in power. The exhaust gas recirculation valve is another culprit. When it goes bad, emissions and engine performance decline, and replacing it isn't cheap. The timing chain is also worth noting. Ignoring these can lead to catastrophic engine damage, so regular checks are more essential than usual. Ford 5.4-liter Triton V8. Making its debut in 1997, this engine was a main power plant in the F-150, Expedition, and Lincoln Navigator. However, owners often share stories of spark plugs flying out of the cylinder heads, and repairs can vary. A simple rethreading might cost $100, while a full head replacement could hit $2,000. But this is not all. Many drivers witness their engines guzzling oil, leading to poor lubrication and carbon buildup. Figuring this out is no small task, with diagnostics starting at $500 and potentially exceeding $2,000 if severe damage is found. And timing chain guide failures are another pain point. While the guides themselves come cheap, getting to them is labor intensive, resulting in repair bills ranging from $1,000 to $2,000. But don't forget about intake manifold coolant leaks. These engines often feature plastic manifolds that can crack and cause leaks, with repairs costing between $500 and $1,000. These issues have taken a toll on drivers' wallets and patience, prompting some to abandon their vehicles rather than continue paying for repairs. Numerous complaints have reached the officials, spotlighting engine stalls and reliability issues. So if you are looking for a car like these, you need to do your research, and the good thing is that we have already made a video on the top most reliable and powerful engines. So thanks for watching, and go watch that one.